Hello, hi, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible. So, yeah, few sessions I have taken of the students. Mhm. Okay, so I was going through your CV and you come from Hassan district, right?
Hassan district, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hassan. So please tell us about the Western Ghat region, okay? Because you have specifically mentioned a place, Salekshpur. It lies in the Western
Sakaleshpur, ma'am.
right. So basically, Salekshpur. Okay. So what are the ecological challenges that are faced in this area today?
Ma'am, there are certain challenges, such as the increase in landslides that we have seen in the recent years, especially after the 160% increase in the rainfall in the previous year itself. The second is the increasing human-wildlife conflicts as well, ma'am, with respect to elephants, wild boars, and other issues. And the third is the issue of the illegal encroachments that is moving in towards Western Ghats, that
Right.
is reducing the sustainability of the particular region as well, ma'am.
So have you heard about Kasturi Ranjan Committee
Yes, ma'am.
regarding the Western Ghats? Okay, so when if they
Yes,
ask
ma'am.
this question, do give a recommendation because now you are going to be a bureaucrat, right? So your
Yes, ma'am.
recommendation have to be validated by something substantial, right?
Okay, ma'am.
And another thing you said 160% rainfall this year. Can you account for the reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Because many times when the student or aspirant says things, you feed information into the mind or the mouth of the interviewer. So you said 160% rainfall. So what is the reason that India saw 160% rainfall? Because remember, whatever you will say, you have to be very precise, very calculative, and जितना बोलो सटीक बोलो. अगर information ज़्यादा दी, तो question आ जाएगा. 160% because
Okay.
this data 160%, are you sure this is 160%? Because even I was thinking 160% is too much. Are you sure about this data?
160% of the initial normal years. 160% rainfall increase compared to normal years.
Okay. Okay. So what are the reasons do you think that this time in Western Ghats we had this good amount of rainfall?
Ma'am, the first reason is the increasing climatic extremities. So in last 3, 4 years, either it has been a drought year or a flood year. So this is one issue, ma'am. And also in the Western Ghats,
Again, because you're saying this, coming to the geography part, when is a year known as a drought year and when is a year known as a flood year?
ma'am, I do not know the exact classification in this regard, ma'am.
El Nino. If there is El Nino,
Okay.
it's drought year. If there are lots of floods, if there is good rainfall, okay, if there's a good rainfall, it's a La Nina. La Nina is very beneficial for our Rabi crop cultivation and this. Because you are from the Western Ghats, so they can ask you questions regarding, because you have already said 160% rainfall, they can ask you questions regarding the cyclonic conditions. So, any kind of cyclonic conditions which we saw,
Yes, ma'am.
note down that if that is in the current affairs.
Okay.
Okay. So one question is ready over here regarding your Western Ghat region if they ask you a question with the committees. Okay. Apart
Okay,
from
ma'am.
this, basically you have mentioned that in Salekshpur you come from Gurjnahili village. Okay, that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that's basically you have grown up in a very humble rural agrarian setting. So what is your worldview or what kind of perspective it has shaped up as you grew up? That place, what did it? You can say what did it taught you?
Ma'am, first of all, it taught me the value of perseverance and dedication, especially watching my father year after year putting the efforts and trusting the process, ma'am. The second is with respect to certain grassroots challenges within the isolated areas, especially with respect to schools as well as hostel facilities and the connectivity issues as well. Then the third, the lesson that I learned is the value of community. So in villages, when the communities come together, they can self-sustain along with living with nature and growing up with nature, man. So the value of respecting
Your answer
the
is really
communities as well as
really nice. First thing you said about the perseverance, right? Again, it's depicting the value system which you have got. As an administrator, you will try to inculcate these values in the system, right? Second thing,
okay,
uh, you had also said about the community and the nature thing, right? So that means you are a
yes,
very
ma'am.
observant person. So again, I really appreciate your answer over here. Very nicely you have put it up, right? And
Okay.
another thing, I have seen that you have studied from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya. Okay, so
Yes,
basically,
ma'am.
how it has influenced your academic discipline and your social outlook? Because I think बहुत कम बच्चे इस स्कूल में admission ले पाते हैं. They have this scholarship test, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, right. So what is the role this school has played in promoting this social conception which you have learned in rural India?
Ma'am, first of all, Jawaharlal Vidyalaya has provided opportunity not only in academic sphere but also in co-curricular as well as sports spheres as well, focusing on holistic development. And secondly, the respect that it teaches towards our elders as well as the other genders. So that respect I have learned from Jawaharlal Vidyalaya, ma'am. And the discipline that we show from the morning 5 p.m., 5 a.m. till the 11 a.m., the 11 p.m. In the night. So we have a disciplined lifestyle. So I have continued with it. So that has one has been lessons from Navodaya, ma'am.
So that is like you are trying to say that it did help you in your exam preparation, the discipline.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do you think that we should be extending such model? The government should be extending such models more. There should be more schools.
Yes, ma'am. Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, the government has already emphasized on creating 100 more Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas in the recent budget as well. And there are also different models which are modeled around Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, such as Ekalavya schools, and in Karnataka itself, Murarji schools, Kittur Rani Chennamma schools as well, ma'am. So we use a hub and spoke model with respect to Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas for creating that ecosystem, ma'am.
Okay, okay. That's again a very complete answer because you're answering like a bureaucrat. You're not just giving a little information. You're substantiating it with budget and government schemes. Eklavya model is for the tribal kids, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's very inclusive answer. So you chose electronics and communication engineering, right, as your subject in NIT Surathkal. I see another one of the top colleges from India. So how do you think that this engineering background is going to help you as a civil servant? Matlab, don't you think
Ma'am,
that
in
once
my
you have studied coming from a rural background, having a lot of perseverance and courage of conviction, then again, cracking a very topmost AIEEE exam and getting into topmost colleges, getting one of the best educations, best minds, one of the best minds in country, and then you think that after that you're coming back, is it like, do you think that government resources are very well utilized like this? Like how this engineering you will apply as being a civil servant?
Ma'am, there are two questions here. I will address them one by one. The first question is regarding the lessons that I've learned from engineering, ma'am. It taught me the importance of analytical ability, especially the first principle thinking. That is differentiating a problem into smaller issues, then resolving them one by one, then integrating them, ma'am. So this is what I learned from engineering. And also the electronics and communication engineering gave me a broad overview with respect to the technological developments that is happening, especially in the spheres of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and other sphere also, which are important in governance as well, ma'am.
Okay.
And the
Yes.
second part of the question, ma'am, with respect to coming from Jawaharlal Vidyalayas and NITK Surathkal, for me, it was a blessing to get education at some of the most reputed institutions in India. That has instilled a sense of responsibility in me, ma'am. So that is why I initiated Beach School to provide such educational support for the children in the surrounding areas as well. So that lessons that I have learned from my journey throughout the years will be surely helpful in civil services as well.
That's a very
So this is my perspective, ma'am.
that's what they look for a civil servant, right? Because you are going to be implementer of the scheme, right? No matter what kind
Yes,
of
ma'am.
you will be having, you have to be somebody who's always going to have that spirit and josh the way you are answering the questions, right? This is a very positive attitude ki hum karenge, always having that pragmatic approach, right? Your answer is depicting that. Okay, so often it is said that these engineers they are criticized for lacking some kind of social sensitivity. Do you agree with that? Although you have answered me briefly, but do you agree that there are also certain ethical challenges which are involved over here uh, regarding the deployment of technology in governance? Two questions. First question, you answer me first. That do the engineers lack that social sensitivity? Do you think?
Well, it would be too harsh to generalize the engineers in this particular field, ma'am. So there are certain issues, such as sometimes there are we may not, so the engineers may not be understanding the grassroots issues because of the elite nature of some institutions as well. And also, but even the government as well as the institutions themselves are taking measures like providing sensitivity training and wellness missions, such as art of living sessions we had in the first year of the college itself. And also even in NCC, ma'am, so we learn the art of discipline and we learn the art of showing respect towards other genders also. So during our college life itself, ma'am. So this is engineering.
You said in the first point that engineering is going to help you. Okay.
ma'am. Very sorry, like there was some issue with my internet.
Okay. Yes, because I was just continuing this, that you had already mentioned that you are going to analytically divide the problem. What about, like, there is a bureaucrat, okay, and an old lady is coming to you and she's not having the Aadhaar card, she's not having the biometrics. She's very old and she's coming to you that I need some food in your district. Are you going to analytically analyze the situation that you are not having the documentation? Are you going to be that bureaucratic rule of law hierarchy bureaucrat? Like, what is the decision making you're going to do at that point of time? Engineering analytical skills, or you need to have that emotional intelligence also? What do you think?
Ma'am, the emotional intelligence also is a very important factor for a bureaucrat. Ma'am, in this regard, the analytical, that is the rule of law, the Indian system itself provides certain discretion or certain aspects where the bureaucrats can follow empathetic aspects along within the ambit of the rule of law, ma'am. In this case also, if we can provide that old lady with the necessary support through existing schemes also, that should be done. But at the same time, there are better mechanisms for immediate grievance redressal, such as taking the support of civil societies, NGOs, which are providing healthcare facilities as well. That help should also be taken, ma'am.
Okay, but don't you think you can just get her UID iris scan done by all these and immediately get her, because now she'll have a biometric and all. After that, she can get enrolled in any pension scheme. She can get, there is a, like, NGO, civil society, they are the fourth pillar, but something which is in your hand. So if I assume you gave me that answer that you break down that analytical skills you have, if you add emotional intelligence to your analytical skills, won't that be very wonderful?
Yes, ma'am. Surely, ma'am.
This word when you answer, right? Emotional intelligence. ये आपको बोलना है,
Okay, ma'am.
right? Okay. One another question, because you are from electronics and communication and there is usage of lots of social media and all. So they may ask you regarding the ethical challenges in usage of technology, specifically in governance. What are the challenges? When we deploy the technology in governance, what are the ethical challenges?
Then the first and paramount issue is the exclusionary nature some technologies can have. And the second issue is the issue of privacy, which is paramount to the dignity of individual as well, ma'am. The third is the complete rational decision making, which may exclude empathy within the governance systems also. That is the third issue, ma'am.
Which may
Completely rationalistic decision, completely objective based decision making,
object.
which are based on AI and other mechanisms, which may be devoid of empathy, ma'am.
Right, right. Now this is a very good answer. You can also add algorithmic biases in this part.
Okay.
Algorithmic biases, because what happens in United States, there is this predictive policing. And what happens in
Yes.
predictive policing, they have this data of the 18th century people who had migrated from Africa, and they have, mentioned them as criminals. So the data goes on like that. So technology is not that smart. Technology is not having that empathetic levels to catch or to change. वो वही pattern में चलते आ रही है, right? So this is also the issue.
Yes.
Right? You answered it very well. So why did you choose public administration as your optional?